Hi guys, I'm sure you've been wondering when you were going to hear from me. The last month has been hectic, to be sure. Setting up a new household goes much slower at 70 than it did even 10 years ago. I've pretty much gotten everything organized and set up. The only piece of furniture I'm missing is the power lift recliner that you may recall I was saving for. I wanted to make sure all my other furniture was placed to make sure I had the space I needed for the recliner. And I do. I plan on ordering that in the next couple of days, and then I get to figure out how to assemble it. The rest of what remains to be done is mostly adding decor where I want it. And some of that involves incorporating some of my artwork, like this wooden shoe last, which I found at one of my favorite antique stores. And I'll add a little history. In the past, shoe lasts, or shoe forms, were made out of hardwoods like beech and maple. I'm guessing the shoe last is made of maple, but I'm not 100% sure. If you think you know, let me know in the comments below. Anyway, the lasts were used to shape the leather uppers, and the basic form of a shoe. In the 19th century, shoemakers transitioned to making metal shoe lasts, but when the metal became needed during the World War I, they reverted back to making wooden shoe lasts. And today, shoe lasts are used mostly in bespoke shoemaking, meaning shoes that are made specifically for an individual and made in bulk using high-density plastic. My design style is sort of a mixture of modern farmhouse with some small, mostly wooden antiques thrown in, and then some of my art projects. I always wanted to have a shoe last or two as decoration. At first, I hesitated with the idea of doing pyrography on a shoe last, but then I realized that they're not that rare, so I convinced myself that it was okay to alter this piece of history. I'll probably get another one and leave it bare, but it's difficult for me not to want to add some pyrography to bare wood. So I promised you that I would give you a tour of where I live to show you what senior low-income housing can look like. I had planned on showing you both the old place, which was a studio apartment, and then the one I'm living in now, which is a full one-bedroom. Unfortunately, the movers got done at the old place really quickly, and I needed to rush out the door so I'd be able to meet them at the new place. So I'm sorry, but I don't have any pictures or videos of the old place, the studio. Today I'll be sharing some videos and pictures of the new place before I moved in. The painters were still finishing up the apartment, so I couldn't hang around too long. My videos aren't the best, but they'll give you an idea of what the place is like. So, let's begin. First, I'm going to show you some photos of the common areas. This is the community room. Back over by the windows, there are leather couches and chairs, which are very comfortable. In the foreground, you'll see tables and chairs that can be used for activities. This is our community kitchen. As you can see, there are 2 full stoves and ovens. It's a pretty large kitchen. This is meant to be used for any activities we may have here. Meals aren't served here because the residents in this building all live independently. But you can reserve this whole common area for a family function if you want to. And this is our community library. There's a table on the left, which is typically used for working jigsaw puzzles, the whole wall of books, and a computer and printer, which are free to use. Almost all the cabinets below the bookshelves are filled with jigsaw puzzles. The unwritten rule of jigsaw puzzles is that one person may start a puzzle, but everyone is free to come and work on it. It's left on the table for people to come and go as they please. This is the patio outside the common area. This building is part of a large campus of different types of senior residences. In the distance on the left, you can probably make out a large, several-story high building. Here, let me try and zoom in on that. So this is the assisted living facility on this campus. There is a cafe in this facility where they do serve their residents, and if we would like to join them in the cafe, we can go and have a meal there and pay a small fee for it. Further to the left are some very nice single-story duplexes. I believe there's something like 30 buildings, so 60 duplexes in total. Those are also independent living, but they are not low income. Throughout the entire campus, there's a walking trail. It goes past some flower beds and a small pond. And this is a community garden that's just for the residents of my building. All the plots were assigned by the time I moved in, so I'll have to wait until next year to do some gardening. I'm looking forward to having my grandsons come over and help me plant some vegetables. The one thing I didn't get a picture of was our laundry room. And I mean, a laundry room is a laundry room, but if you would like to see it, let me know and I will include it when I give you a tour of my apartment after it is completely decorated and ready for people to view. Now let's look at the videos I was able to take of the apartment before I moved in. This is looking in from the front door to the living room. You see this long thing that looks like a shelf? It's actually a conduit that vents the air conditioning into the bedroom through the wall. I've never seen anything like that before, and I'll be honest with you, it's not extremely efficient for cooling off the bedroom, especially since I like a very chilly room when I sleep. But I figured out a workaround and I've been very comfortable. Trying to figure out what to do with that vent when it came to furniture placement and decor was very much on my mind while I waited to move in. And I'll show you what I've done when I've finished getting everything set up. Moving to the left is a small alcove leading to the bedroom, bathroom, and a closet. I'll show you those in a second. But right inside the front door is another closet with some shelving, which I knew I would be turning into my pantry. I still don't have anything up on that very high top shelf. I have no idea what I'll ever use that for, since I can't even reach it with a step stool. Well, if you turn right after entering the apartment, there's a kitchen. It's much, much smaller than the kitchen I had in the studio apartment. It's definitely not wheelchair accessible. Thankfully, I'm not in a wheelchair. I am not a big fan of the whole sort of, but not really, pass through into the living room. It does allow some natural light into the room. My apartment windows are south-southeast facing, so I get some great light into the apartment, which I love. It's hard to tell here, but they are big windows, and I get to look out over a lot of treetops. Anyway, the kitchen has proven sufficient for my needs, and I'm making it work. This is a video of a large closet that sits in the hall alcove outside of the bathroom and the bedroom. I've added a small shelving unit to it, and it stores my extra paper goods, holiday decor, tools, vacuum, mop, etc. Next is the bathroom. It too is much smaller than the one I had in the other apartment. As you can see here, the sink and cabinet have not yet been put in. They replaced the flooring in the entire apartment as well as the refrigerator, commode, and bathroom sink. Also missing are some of the grab bars on the walls, which senior apartment bathrooms have plenty of. Weirdly, the medicine cabinet is on this wall and not above the bathroom sink. I found that strange, and my biggest nemesis in this apartment is the bathtub. My other apartment had a walk-in shower, which is much more accessible to seniors than climbing over the edge of a bathtub. I had thought about getting a chair that fits over the side of the tub and allows you to transition in, but it's not possible with the way the room is set up. If the shower fixtures had been on the other end where the sink is, then it would have been possible. But this setup makes it impossible. I'm making it work. I'm just very cautious about getting into and out of the shower, and the addition of all the grab bars does make it easier. Here is a picture taken later of the cabinet, sink, and mirror that they put in the bathroom. I really love it. I'm used to builder grade stainless faucets and light oak cabinets, so I'm really digging the solid surface countertop, the black fixtures, and the more modern cabinet. They did good. And last but not least is the bedroom. It has the same large window that the living room has. It also has a pretty decent sized closet, so that gives me 3 closets total. In this closet, I've stored all my craft supplies, my linens, my luggage, and the few items of clothing that I put on hangers. Here's another quick video of the living room and the view outside of the apartment. I'm on the 3rd floor and I face the parking lot, but my view is mostly the tops of trees. The road outside of the window is sort of a secondary artery. It leads to some new housing areas, churches, and then farmland and the next small town. It's across this street and down a few more blocks where my son, daughter-in-law, and grandsons live. The traffic on this road dies down to nothing by around 10 p.m., and semis aren't allowed on it, so I don't mind the traffic. And here's the view from the living room into the kitchen and of the front door, and that pass-through that really isn't a pass-through that I'm learning to live with. The ledge of the pass-room still has paint cans stacked on it. Well, that's it, guys. It's no executive suite, but it's cozy and quiet, and I've met some lovely people already. The place I lived in before this one was fine. I was happy with it. But let me tell you, this place is far superior. First, it's smoke-free, where my other place was not. People could smoke in their apartments, and I had a sensitive nose and I could smell it. I had wax melts going all the time, and my window was open whenever possible. They also didn't do a good job of policing people who had pets, and the pets would often pee in the hallways. Right before I left, they installed air purifiers in the hallways to help take care of the smell. It was helping, but honestly, it was just a Band-Aid. I could also always hear other people's TVs murmuring through the walls. Here, I don't hear a thing. It's incredibly quiet and peaceful. So I'm sitting here at the desk in my bedroom, which I have placed in front of the window. It's gotten dark outside and the traffic has died down. I've opened the window to let in some fresh air. We have just a small breeze tonight, and I can hear the trees rustling just a little bit. There's a 3/4 moon tonight that shines through the window, competing with the glow from my laptop screen. I'm feeling content in my new space. It took almost 4 years of waiting to get in here, but it was worth the wait. I am so pleased to be so close to my boys, and I'm looking forward to showing you what I've done to make the place my own on my limited budget. Enjoy the rest of your week, and I'll see you in the next video.